And so we are live. And how we doing tonight, folks? Normally I don't do live chats during the week, but I'm making a one time. Well, what is at the moment a one time? I'm sure the other one times, making it multiple times. But regardless, little one time exception here. I'm commemorating. Yeah, I'm commemorating 4 years in the YouTube game, and I'm sorry if I seem distracted. My laptop just flashed me a what I thought was an important message. They were trying to get me to upgrade something. I am so sick of these hey free upgrades on my personal computer. Just leave me alone. If I wanted to upgrade something, I would do it with or without you asking me. But anyway, enough about my relationship with Hal. Um, welcome to my fourth anniversary extravaganza. Yay! And I have some guests already. Gary Carmen's here says, greeting guys and ghouls. Guys and ghouls. We're just a groovy bunch of guys and ghouls. My flock is here. She says, hi, Pawns. Love the live chat you had earlier. Oh, and by the way, she's doing a twofer. She had a live chat earlier with Logan the Sandman and I believe another person named Jim. And tonight she'll be with Chance Bartels on the Nostalgic Paul Blast doing Star Trek, I believe, is the topic. But you're always welcome here. Shadow, this is like 4 years. Yes, 4 more years. 4 more years. 4 more years. That's the ticket. Um oh, my flex says, can I stream you pawns, please? If I was doing StreamYard, the answer would have been yes. I decided because I had some problems with the bandwidth in my StreamYard and it kept crashing on me. And I have other folks here at this time who are also drawing upon my internet. I decided to go with YouTube. But Sarah, I promise you, you and I will do a post together, a live chat stream. I promise. We'll stay in touch. Gary says they have closed the Tropicana Hotel after 67 years. Wowzers. You're never guessing who's going to be here. Mystery Men and Monsters. What the heck are you doing on my computer at this time of day? Mystery Men and Monsters, I was just thinking. Last Sunday I had a live chat and there were like a dozen people, old time friends of channel that I hadn't seen some of them in a couple years. And afterwards I'm like, I wonder how M is doing. Well, M, I'm doing just fine, and I'm so glad you could make it to my 4 year extravaganza. Yes, April of 2000, at the height of the pandemic is when I started. Yeah, I was in my garage and I was bored because I wasn't going to work and made my first video and it was incredibly unpolished, unlike these masterpieces of today. But yeah, I'm now commemorating 4 years in the YouTube universe. Gary Carpenter says, R.I.P. Barbara Rush. Indeed, that was very sad. Oh, Joe Flattery died yesterday as well. Probably best known for his work in Second City TV, but he also did a number. He was on Married with Children, did another other TV shows. Is in one of my favorite episodes of The Hitchhiker. O.D. Phelan. He plays the sort of black market chemist. My flock says, I can do it on my end. Can I please? My flock, if you think you can log in, go for it. You know more about the internet than I do. So, yes, if you can, you can. You have my permission. I'm going to LOL. I don't need your StreamYard. Cool. Go for it. And let's see what else we get going on here. Shannon says, oh no, hadn't heard about Joe Flattery. Apparently it was yesterday, but his daughter came forward today. I guess he'd been suffering from a long illness. Okay, we got 6 in and only 2 likes. We can do better than that. People, come on. Oh, and by the way, I've decided I'm not going to do anything. What's that? I heard a ding. Uh, we noticed you haven't opened these in a while. Oh, PC. I'll shut you down. I will. I'll shut you down. Oh, Crapshoot Creations is here. CSC for short is here. He says, big high five. Congratulations. Stay awesome. If you guys haven't checked out Crapshoot Creations, He makes tie-dye shirts and other accessories. They're absolutely awesome. You got to check him out. Sarah, if you're still around, please drop a link to Crapshoot Creations and one for yourself as well. And Tug is here. He says, hyena. Actually, I think that's hey ya. Hey ya. Shake it like a pony riding preacher. Oh, Gary Carpenter said, I gave a thumbs up. Thank you. Tug says, can't stay long. Weeknights are harder than Sundays. More than understand. Thank you for coming by to say happy anniversary. Take care of ye. And let's just see what else we could go on. Oh, a lot of people saying hi to one another. But yeah, I have a couple. I don't have a regular trivia game. In fact, I was going to ask you guys. I don't know if I wouldn't call this a mission statement or a channel update or anything like that. It's just this sort of celebration of 4 years. But I did want. I had a few questions about making the channel better. What I'm doing is making the channel worse. And one of them was, should I keep doing these trivia games? By the way, if you like them, let me know. If you're sick of them, let me know as well. By the way, hopefully Zuber will be here tonight because we all know what he's going to say. And I'm just making sure I don't. A lot of people are having fellowship, chatting with one another in the streams. I'm just making sure that I'm not missing anybody while I'm pontificating. But I do have a couple of just run-of-the-mill questions about my channel just to see how well you guys pay attention. And Brogu's here. Brogu says, "Hey everyone, Brogu, hello to you too. By the way, you kind of came in at peak messaging the other day. I'm very sorry if I didn't have more of a chance to say hey to you, but Brogu, I'm so glad you made it for the 4-year anniversary." Says hello Thrash and hello to you too, by the way. Yeah, I only plan on doing this for about an hour. I figure I had to at least commemorate the commemoration of the commemorative. And that is I'm trying to there was an old bit Steve Martin did, and I'm trying to remember it. And he says, dedicated to the men and women who dedicate themselves to the dedicated field of the, and then at the end it goes, end of dedication. It was about Dr. Ben Dedicated, which was loosely based on Dr. Ben Casey. But I can't quite put the whole thing together. But anyway, yes, this is a commemoration, and thank you for being here. Brogu says happy anniversary. And Joseph Moore says hello. Joseph, so nice of you to make it on this, our 4-year anniversary commemoration post. Texas consider you commemorated by the commemorating. Thank you so much. In fact, you know what I was actually watching earlier today? I was watching my Day of the Triffids post, and it actually led me to your Day of the Triffids retrospective of the 1981 TV series, which I own. And I remember that wasn't like the first time I watched your channel, but I found my comment in the credits. It must have been very, very early on because I'm like, have you ever considered doing a live chat? Would you ever consider having a co-host? How self-serving of me. Us, them, they. But yes, oh, and also, if you guys, I can't believe anyone who would be here on this channel would not have checked out Tug, but check him out as well. LOL, good times. They certainly were. They certainly were. Considering they were in the 2020s, which is possibly the least coolest decade, at least of this century. Yeah, I'm always hesitant to say 2020's worst decade ever because a lot of people say, "Hey, 1940s." Well, yeah, but hey, we won the war then. But I don't want to get too grim. I have an upbeat, nostalgic channel, and let's just. Oh, speaking of which, I want to thank Dave Sundstrom. He hasn't had a chance to be doing much lately. This may have something to do with the fact that his father's been very, very ill. But he posted a collection of McDonald's commercials, which I was watching earlier, and I got to tell you that he had a it was a great collection, and I was like, oh, if only life was like a McDonald's commercial. And I want to thank Dave. Dave has been very, very instrumental to the evolution of my channel. By the way, when I first started, I had no idea what I was doing, unlike now, and I had been a friend of Dave's channel for a while, and I just one day in really hubris. I couldn't believe the gall I had. Actually, in his comment section, I said I have a fledgling channel, which also is nostalgic like yours, and if would be possible Could you give me some pointers? And I just have expected something like, hey, just keep doing what you're doing, that type of thing. He watched my posts and gave me actual feedback. And I could he actually watch them. I could tell because he actually said, The way you did this year, try doing it like this." And he actually gave me some specific feedback specifically to what he saw. And that actually meant a lot. I know I can say the same thing about a number of people: RNG, Tug, Danny Staten with all his channels. You guys have all been instrumental to me. But if Dave's here, I just want to say specifically thank you. He was the first person I reached out to, and he was the first person to actually reach back to me. And anyway, if you guys get a chance, check out his channel. Not to mention Retro Nerd Girl with her amazing retrospectives on vintage film, and of course Tugs as well. And Danny Staten, I could take the rest of the hour listing off all his channels. And Danny, you and I will someday, you and I will actually do our collaboration as well. Um, Tug says Dave is the North Star of our little community. I'm as constant as the Northern Star. Yes, he certainly is. Oh, and Sarah's dropping links. Awesome, awesome. Uh, Individualistic Mind is here. Individualistic Mind. Can I call you I'm? Says, oh, and an oh to you as well. He goes on to say, you're doing a great job with the channel. I gotta tune in sometime. Please, please do. Actually, if you're a fan of modern humor, I do things on dad jokes, vintage film and TV. I do some stuff with old top 40 songs. I call them creepy classics, where I take like a song that everybody remembers as being a happy song, and when I listen to the lyrics, I point out how grim it is. Those are actually a lot more fun than they sound. And I also do a thing called Wretched Recaps, where I recount old comic books. And you're welcome to join any of those. And they're all a lot more fun than I make them out to be. Broga says, speaking of good times, that Good Times cartoon that's will be on Netflix is so disrespectful to black people. Really? I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. I am goes on to say what's good. Emily Miller is here. Emily says, "Hey y'all," and this might be slightly outstepping my boundaries. Emily, please forgive me, but Emily, commiserations. I don't know if you folks saw on Facebook. Emily's mother has passed on, and I just want to tell her how sorry we all are. Emily, I am honored that you were able to make it tonight. I didn't think I'd see you, but it means a lot that you could come by tonight. Thank you very, very much, and take care of yourself, my friend. My Flux is sending you people, brother. My Flock, you are awesome. You are. Oh, are you actually posting this on your channel? You are absolutely amazing and well loved, and you are based, as you're always saying to me. I am says I will. Sure, I do music and comedian stuff. That's awesome, awesome. So I am. Please check us out. Um, Gary Captain says, "M, guess who just showed up?" I'm guessing that would be her. Oh, I am says, word to you, I am. Dad jokes, words on that, haha. Well, sounds like we have a lot that you might like on my channel. Oh, and Tug says, hugs. Emily Miller says, thank you, Bob. No, thank you, miss. I am says, message retracted. And a message retracted to you as well. And Brogu says, my condolences to you and your family, Emily. And Gary Carpenter says, M, so sorry for your loss. And do we have a naughty person? It looks like actually I am their messages are being retracted or deleted, I should say, by my flock. Yeah, I must say, you might be saying things. We have some certain ground rules here. We don't want to say anything in poor taste. Moderators will hop all over that. So I am feel free to proceed in a more appropriate fashion. Sean says, sorry to hear that. Emily, my flex says you're live on my show right now. I finally deduced that that's what you were saying, and thank you. So basically, this is a simulcast. You're rebroadcasting my show onto yours. And again, you are always welcome to do that. Thank you so, so much. And I do promise you, when I get StreamYard down, you will be one of my first guests. I promise not to Danny, but you will be one of my first guests. I promise. And you are blessed. Emily says she's no longer in pain. That is an excellent way of looking at it. And my Flug has given us more links. And my Flug says, oops, my bad, sorry. Ooh, perhaps they were deleted inadvertently. Inadvertently. If they were in fact deleted inadvertently, I will say uh disregard. I just saw what I saw on my screen, and after accordingly, Emily says everything I say is in poor taste. Emily, you're actually one of the most surprisingly sympathetic people I have on my show, and thank you. And Gary Cameron says no political issues or cursing. Oh, I see. Yes, indeed. Oh, David Zram is here. It says hello out on YouTube and Streamland. Oh, and hello to you, Dave. So awesome you could make it tonight. Um, my Flux says sorry, won't fix it. IMG. Individualistic says later, brother, and my flock. Peace, yo. I am so glad you could come on by tonight. Thank you again. Check out the other posts, and I normally go live on Sundays, so please come on by Sundays at 7:30 for my next live show. But anyway, I am. Thank you very much for joining us. Tab is here, says congrats on your 4th YouTube anniversary, and thank you. Emily says it'll do, Gary. I will. And my flag has given us another link. Oh, a link to individual isms channel. If you're still here, I will check out your channel. If you're not still here, you'll find out to check out your channel when I leave a nice comment on one of your posts. Hey, fair is fair. People check out my channel. I always check out theirs. Let's just see what we can go on here. And my Fluck is says, I'm so sorry. Apology accepted on my end. And I'd like to think I am will apologize as well. That actually happened to me once. At least once, maybe twice now I think of it. Because I have a touch screen. And when I touch the screen, it highlighted someone's post and blocked them. I'm like, no. I didn't mean to block them. But live and learn, live and learn. Tim says, I posted a tribute to SCTV freaks and geeks that Joe Flattery, who passed away today at 82 on Facebook. Yeah, I just found out a few minutes ago, right before I came on. He was on my favorite episode of The Hitchhiker. O.D. Phelan. It also starred Gene Simmons. Pardon me. Girls made some kind of barbecue steak for dinner tonight. And there's grease in the air. But I will survive. Maybe. But yes, very sad. I am says, may I go live? Make I go live randomly. You may go live as randomly or as deliberately as you would like. I'm here setting fake Easter eggs. I shudder to think what those might be. And Gary said, Dear me. Gary says, the last of the survivors of the USS Arizona has died at 102. That is very sad. That is very sad. Commiserations. I'm not sure the gentleman's name, but commiserations. And thank you for your service, the veteran who passed. Oh, and I am correct. Eating. That might be worse than setting on fake Easter eggs. Emma Miller says, we all need a hobby. Yes, mine is going on YouTube and randomly laughing. Gary says, I've got several hobbies. And Em goes on to say, I do too, Gary. I just never complete them. That's a great thing about hobbies. A hobby is different from a task. A hobby you can do whenever you feel like it. A task has some type of logical conclusion. Like for example, my hobby might be collecting comic books. My task might be to read The Great Gatsby. I have a number of comic books, so I have already completed the hobby of the collection. It's just a case of, do I want to make it bigger? Do I want to sell some off and make it smaller? But I have achieved my hobby and can just go back to it whenever I feel like it. I may just die before I read The Great Gatsby. So there you go. Gary says, I'm trying to start again. Starting a new hobby or getting back to an old one? Dave says hobby is in Lord of the Rings. That's Hobbit. Hobbits are in Lord of the Rings. And Sean says Lou Conter was the name of that last survivor of the USS Arizona. Rest in peace, Mr. Conter. And Brogy says, you guys are absolutely right. I need a hobby. Good night. Just kidding, Thrash. Joke taken. Joke. Your hobby could be watching my posts. I certainly have enough of them. In fact, if you guys, I have a couple questions on those, but like I said, I'm just going to keep this one lively at this point. Gary Carter says, T, you read my mind about comics. I collect them, DC comics. I collect all over the place. I collected DC. I collected Marvel. I collected Dark Horse, Gold Key. Uh, again, I was all over the place. Um, didn't really have a specific favorite. I probably started seriously collecting, like, rather than, when you're a kid, your dad gets you this comic book, your uncle gives you that comic book. In fact, that Tales of Evil, the one that Danny Staten just reviewed, I had that when I was a kid. Um, and the artwork was great. The stories were less than great. But there was a comic series when I would have been, I guess, about 14 or so. It was called Twisted Tales by was it PC? I think they called themselves PC, Pacific Comics, and it was supposed to be a ripoff of EC Comics, the Comic Giants, and that really got me into comics because they were just comic books; they were like big kid entertainment, and that would have been about 40 years ago. And so I still get comics every now and then. I get them as gifts a lot from channel members. Danny sent me some. John Doe sent me some, and it's nice getting gifts from you folks. And Lewis says, I mean, the guy was 102. How much longer did y'all want him to live? What's the record now? Is it 112? And I myself would never want to. I wouldn't wish 112 on an enemy. Dave says, how much Toxic Avengers? Saw the movie, never had the comics. Sean says, Emily Miller, he was a quitter, LOL. I don't know if I could say that. And Gary Carpenter says, as long as they want to. Yes. Live as long as you want to, and, well, hopefully not much longer. And Sean is right. JK, 102 is one hell of a run. And Emily's laughing at Sean. Well, laughing at Sean's joke, I should say. And Terrell says, TV title rephrases trivia. Every single one in the group of people related to one another. Ooh, so it's basically like my working titles with music, only it's a TV trivia. Every single one in the group of people related to one another. uh, huh. Related to one another. Oh, something family. Every one of us family. Every one of us family. All in the family? All in the family? I'm gonna say all in the family. You see, isn't that game fun? And David says, meant about Toxic Avenger. What comic was that in? Yes, I didn't get the Toxic Avenger comics. I just got the that's all, folks. I got the Toxic Avenger from the Trauma film series, a franchise. And there was a cartoon, if I remember correctly, a kids' cartoon of all things. And Gary says, I had great aunt that lived to 102. And David says, Toxic Avengers are in Marvel. I'll take your word for it. And Emily says, if I could be healthy, spry, 102, great. If not, oh, and Tim says I was right, all in the family. There you go. And Dave says, right, right, I am bad. No, 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 you're one of the good ones. You're one of the good ones. And let's see, just kind of looking over my note. Like I say, I'm hesitant to try to do anything today. Let me ask you guys a question. Serious question. Let me ask you a question. I know you guys love the live streams particularly. That's why you guys always come to them. As far as the post goes, what's your favorite type of post of mine? What post do I do that you guys seem to like the most? Please let me know in the comments below. Uh, Emily says, "Where is everybody?" Well, again, this is kind of a last minute thing. I only got the post up earlier today that I was going to be doing this, and apparently, Sean and Gary, a couple other people, even my own sister, um, sent me a message saying, "What time is it at?" Because the font that I had used inside the picture, initially I had meant to do that thing where it's a split screen, where it's my pretty face on one side, and the other side has the information. For some reason, it wasn't posting in the box, so I had to do like an overlay of the picture, and I picked a color and font that was very poor, and nobody could read it. And even though it's in the description of the thumbnail, a lot of people were confused. So my guess is a lot of people knew it was sometime, but didn't know at what time. And Sean says, my mom made it to 90, but the last 10 years were not really good. Sadly, that's the case a lot. Gary says, who knows, Em? And he goes on to say, Sean, my grandmother made it to 95. And my flux says, live pawns, sorry. Um, Sarah, I'm not sure what you are sorry of. So far, everything you've done tonight, so far, you've been a moderator. So far, you've posted links. And so far, you've put my show on your show. You have been amazingly helpful and a very good friend tonight. So worry not, whatever it is that you did that you feel the need to apologize for. If you inadvertently timed out somebody, specifically um, uh, I'm Mines. I like that. I'm Mines. I'm sure they too will forgive you. And oh my good golly, look, at your BK on the air says happy fourth, buddy. Barry, it is so awesome to see you. As you guys all know, Barry King from BK on the air, uh, the YouTube show and the radio show is here. I've been a guest on both. It is so awesome to see you. Thank you for the positive vibes. And of course, everybody knows BK. Sarah, if you wouldn't mind dropping a link, that would be awesome sauce. Oh, and everybody, don't forget, sadly, it's going to be like 9:30, 10 o'clock my time, so I will have already crashed out. Kind of busy tomorrow, but uh, Sarah and Chance are doing a live stream tonight around 9:30. Everybody, please attend. I believe it's on the concept of Star Trek. He did a great one the other day on Yeoman Rand about her career. It was very, very nicely done. Not just on Star Trek, on Sunset Strip and other stuff as well. And oh, Shauna says, I guess I've really seen the Sunday streams and some wretched recaps. I never really got into the comics because the stories advance so slowly. I'll actually get more out of the seeing the old ads. Oops, only. Uh, yeah, for some reason, and I've noticed that myself actually, those old ads seem to be some of the most entertaining parts of it. Again, because the stories weren't particularly good. But there's something about those old adverts. One, they're very, very nostalgic, and two, it's very, very silly. When it looked like all this stuff, it's like, did people really take this stuff seriously? Come on, 3D glasses, um, you know, uh, magic beans, things that made you into a bodybuilder. But people always seem to believe it. Or and the patches with the little 70s characters on them. Very funny. Dave says, "Happy birthday to your show. Happy birthday to your happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary." Sean says, "In your last one, you had the crashing cars where the parts popped off." Yes, and I actually remember those. They had there was a commercial. I think the commercials are still on YouTube. They literally the plastic pieces of the car would snap on, and when you crash them into each other, it would pop off like an actual accident. And I'm like, wow, we're doing staged auto accidents as a kids game these days. Crazy. Dave says Thresh is only 4 years old. The channel, at least. Gary Garber says DC Comics had better stories and characters. Yeah, I'll give you that much. Yeah, Gold Key. Well, Gold Key, what they would do is they would borrow from actual TV shows and kind of ride the crest on that. So they didn't feel the need to be good. Emily says X-ray glasses, sea monkeys. You know how many times I had sea monkeys? I had so many sea monkeys, and all they are is brine shrimp. Literally, that's all they are is brine shrimp. And sometimes they would work, and sometimes they wouldn't. I remember I had this like super colony. Some of them were getting like a half inch long. Some of them getting like pretty darn big, and I was like so proud of them. And one night, I left them on my grandmother's deck table, and it rained. And uh, Sean says Charles Atlas adds kicking sand on the wimp. I know, right? And then he was able to like uh, support his weight on his finger. Zzz. Tim says TV title rephrase trivia: small building in which people live on a large area of land covered grass. Little House on the Prairie. As I was reading it, it popped into my mind. Little House on the Prairie. Emily got that one as well, and Teb confirms. And Sean says, Gary, my friend, loved the futuristic version of the Justice League. By association, I read some of those. And Dave says, sink. Sink as in Bismarck? Hi, Mrs. Thrash. Mrs. Thrash says hello. She's waving her arms frantically. She's coming out of she took a refreshing nap and is now apparently going to raid the icebox. And is probably getting sick of me telling everybody what and she's like, yes, I'm getting sick of you telling everyone what I'm doing. Sorry. Remember the Family Guy episode where it was Randy Newman, and every time you did something, he'd be like, "The dog walks in, takes an apple." It's like, but everyone's saying hello to Mrs. Thrash. Gary Gabby says, Sean, when I was growing up, the Super Friends were my favorite and still is. I must have told you guys when we first moved to Cape Cod, if you didn't have cable, you didn't have television. If you were lucky, you could get like 2 channels. Most people got literally, not figuratively, literally one. And we got one. Some of the other one came in, but it was always grainy, and I couldn't stand grainy TV when I was a kid. But the one we got, thankfully, had the Super Friends on Saturday morning. So the Super Friends were my morning. And I've loved the Super Friends ever since. Oh, look who's here! Christopher Wilkinson's here. He says, "Good evening, Bob. Good evening to you, Christopher. Good to see. Say hi to your dad for me too." And just Jonah says, "Hello, Mrs. Thrash. You raid the icebox." And oh, David says, "Hi, nice lady." Ah, that's very kind of you. And so apparently Sean's the only person who's watched any of my content channel other than my wretched recaps. Actually, I know some of you have watched others because you've been nice enough to leave comments. I think you guys are just shy in coming forward. So I shall honor that and not beat the dead horse, as the saying goes. Gary says Saturday mornings were my favorite day of the week. I loved Saturday morning. I really did. Sundays weren't bad because believe it or not, there was a channel for the one that I got to. They would sometimes rebroadcast the Saturday shows on Sunday morning. So it was it Sunshine Saturday? Sunshine Saturday this fall on ABC. Yeah, let's go with that. But they one year they did it on Sundays too. So again, it was like, and Mama Thrash used to make a treat on Sundays, Saturdays rather. Um, it's called eggs in a basket. You could actually get the basket element from Pillsbury, but oftentimes what she would do is just make her own. What you do is you take like a baking tray for cupcakes, and you push some dough into the cake element, and then you put a raw egg in each cup, and then you bake it for a couple minutes, and you basically get like perfect hard boiled eggs. They're hard baked eggs, but the point is made in this little basket of crust, and they're absolutely delicious. Tracy's here, says hi. Tracy from Tracy's Fractured History and More says hi. It's so good to see you. And Dave, of course, says Saturday morning cartoons. There were some live action shows as well. Far Out Space Nuts, Lost Saucer, Kids from Caper. Emily Miller says, I'm just not into content videos. If there isn't interactive, it has to be the short like TikTok. More than understand, Miss M. More than understand. Sean says, I do have the backlog of videos to catch up on, but I've seen all the last few months. Well, excellent. Thank you. Thank you. And Tim says, TV title rephrase trivia joined together to be lawfully wedded with young people who grow between birth and puberty. Um, that would have to be married with children. That would have to be married with children. Dave says, I can't stand TikTok. Oh, Emily says married with children too. And Tracy says, hi, Kenneth and Emily and Gary. Oh, and by the way, again, Tracy, thank you very much for joining my 4-year commemorative. And my flock, if you be so kind as to give Tracy a link. Although, Tracy, you're a moderator, you can give yourself a link. Somebody give Tracy a link. Emily says, to each their own, David. And Teb says, that's right, it was married with children. Excellent, excellent. And Gary Cameron says, Super Friends, Space Ghost, Scooby Doo, and Smurfs. Smurfs came later for me. I don't think the Smurfs came out until I was in high school. But the rest of them I certainly watched. And Space Ghost was actually earlier. I discovered Space Ghost in a rebroadcast when they brought him back with some other old cartoons. Lance shaving his hair, says Hey Thresh. Lance said he was going to be here tonight for my 4-year commemorative, and I'm so glad he made it. Thank you so much. Oh, by the way, and some of these people might show up, so I won't go too crazy. But while I'm thinking of it, for some regulars who aren't here, I just want Music Girl 67, Lisa Fields, Cindy D, Baked Bean, House of Alex, Keith E, not Kevin, Keith E, Kevin Scott 76, among others. I want to say hey, and I'll probably do some more shout outs later. But we'll start with those. Others might actually show up. But Lance, thank you very much for showing up. And oh, by the way, so if I miss anybody, please forgive me. Sometimes I think I've mentioned somebody earlier and I haven't. Believe it or not, when you do a lot of live streams, the things you say sometimes blend together. Yeah, seriously, it's like when you think, oh, earlier today, oh no, wait, that was last week. No, that actually happens with the post, and I'm like, I could have sworn I mentioned that, and they're like, and I actually do some research. It's like, oh no, that was from 3 or 4 posts ago. So anyway, so if I miss anybody, please forgive. Yeah, Sean says Keith E not present. He said something. He was supposed to have a family dinner tonight, and then he said he thought it was going to get canceled, so he might be here tonight. But perhaps they canceled the cancelization. There's a nasty storm about to hit the eastern seaboard. I keep getting these updates from Electric, and I got to tell you, I have a duck pond in my side yard, so my house is like this far from reenacting Atlantis. So, and it stays like this. I really wish I'd taken them up on that flood insurance. Oh, live and learn, huh, guys? But That is, as they say, that we all just have to think positive, don't we? Uh, and let's just see. Oh, Terrell Eugene Bellinger Temp says TV title rephrase trivia: a young male person who comes into the presence of the earth by chance. A young man comes into the presence of the earth of the world. Oh, earth world. A young man, boy meets world. I'm gonna go with Boy Meets World. Shauna says, "Yeah, parts of Connecticut might see snow. Snow? That's crazy." And Lynn says, "Emily, may she rest in peace." Okay, I'm here for you. That's very kind of you, Lance. Thank you. And Tracy says, "Emily, was that your mom?" Yes, it was Emily's mom who has passed away sadly. Gary says, "Space Sentinels, Drac Pack, Web Woman, Manta, and Mori." I was talking about Drac Pack actually not that long ago. Wasn't that Hans Conried's? Wasn't that his last acting credit? Didn't he die like literally right after that, or actually while it was still being run? Because he was the voice of uh, the lead bad guy in the Drac Pack. I'm sorry, all of a sudden out of the blue, my allergies are killing me. But I will persevere to endeavor. Lance says my mom passed in 1990. Oh, Lance, I'm very sorry. Teb says Emily Miller, my condolences are with you and your family. And that's right, Thrash. It was Boy Meets World. Ah, Topanga. Oh, and Gary lost his mom at 93. In 93. Um, and Tracy says, Emily, oh no, love you, girl. Oh, that's very kind of you. Lance says Galaxy Trio. And Emily Miller is saying thank you to Tracy with her infamous Purple Heart. And Mr. Wilkinson is also saying sorry to Emily. Pardon me. So where was Weeze? I don't. I think we weren't. I think we had actually wrapped up everything we were talking about. But I'll try to stay in the chat. Oh, oh my gosh! Holy cow! Are you kidding me? Jefferson Eamon. Is that Jeff Inman, my absolutely gorgeous, beautiful personal, my brother-in-law? Everybody, you guys must have heard me talk about my sister Jenny Lou over the years, right? Jeff is her husband, and if Jefferson is here in the chat, it means he and my little sister by proxy is in the chat. And it's oh, hey, big bro from Jenny Lou. Ah, so Jefferson Inman is your stage name, your handle. More than understand, Jenny Lou. I am so psyched you'll be here. I didn't want to jinx it. She actually Facebooked me and asked what time my anniversary show is on tonight, and then I told her, I'm like, oh, that'd be so awesome if Jenny Lou was here tonight. And she is. Oh, Emily says I stayed with her last night in the hospice. And uh Jenny Lou. I know it says Jefferson. I'm gonna say Jenny Lou. I like to call my sister by her actual name. Jenny Lou says, we're here, bro. Oh, Jenny, you were awesome. Brian, our cousin Brian actually comes on the channel every now and then. I haven't seen him in a while, but he makes it on the occasion. Oh my gosh, Lisa Fields is here. Says, "Hey Thrash, hi everyone. I haven't been getting my notifications. I'm so sorry, but I'm very very glad you were here today." Gary says, "Galaxy Trio, Mighty Mitor, Frankenstein Jr., and the Impossibles, all great stuff." And everybody say hi to my sister Jenny Lou and her husband Jeff, please. Family is family. And oh yeah, Tracy says hi Jefferson. Lynn says, my dad was in hospice in 2007. Then he died soon after that. Oh, Lance, I'm very, very, very sorry. Oh, Teb says, TV title rephrase trivia. Affairs under the consideration from a group of people related to each other. Affairs under consideration from a group of people related to each other. The, not the men from Uncle. Let me work on that one. Aff- affairs under consideration from a group of people related to each other. Affairs under consideration from a group of people. Something family. Something family. Well, I already said all in the family. Family affair? I don't know. Oh, and Jenny Lou says using Jeff's profile. Figured as much. That actually happens a lot. That actually happens a lot because not everybody has their own profile. But if there's one on your computer, you just borrow it. Then if you say something embarrassing, you always blame it on them. Lynn says Moby Dick, Shazam, Young Samson. John Orchard is here. Says, "Hey Thrash, congratulations, Johnny Orchard. So glad you can make it. I'm doubly glad because it occurred to me 3 o'clock tomorrow morning. I go back tomorrow morning. Strike that, reverse it. 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. I go back to work. So we'll have to come up with a plan B of when I can give you a jingle. But I haven't forgotten yet. But when you don't hear from me tomorrow at 3, it's because I'm already at work. But we will take it from there. Lance says Herculoids, possibly my all-time favorite. Emily Murray says hi, Jenny and Jeff. Sean says Jenny and Jeff. Waves to them. And Your says Simpson, Birdman, Herculoids, and Moby Dick. All great stuff. Lynn says, hey, Jenny Lou. Oh, hey, Jenny Lou. Goodbye, heart. Emily Miller says, Mama went on Sunday and passed at 3:30 this morning. Oh, again, commiserations. Tracy says, my parents are gone too. Very sorry. Very sorry. Lucy Field says, Tracy, mine are gone too. In the 90s. Wow, that's a long time ago. I'm commiserations, my lady. And Sean says Lisa Fields has entered the chat. Ears burning. Yes, Miss Fields, I'm so glad you could join us tonight for this for your commemorations. Tim says, "Sorry, Thrash. The correct answer was Family Matters. Oh, Family Matters. Well, I was doing the reverse because it was something family. Um, so yeah, Family Matters. That's a good one. Can't get them all now. Gary Cameron says both parents and grandma gone. Oh, I'm sorry. Tracy says hugs to Lisa and Lance. And Lisa goes on to say, "Hey, Sean, very much so. LOL. Oh my God, look who's here. Oh, and Lance says, thank you to Tracy. Love to you. The Atomic Snack Bar is here. Oh my gosh, Atomic Snack Bar has joined us. Says, did it just get a lot stupider in here, or is it just me? But I'm bummed. Oh, it's because me. Never mind. Carry on. You guys have to check out Atomic Snack Bar. He puts out some amazing. It's like nostalgia, but to a whole new level. In fact, Tracy or my flock, if you could drop a link, or Lance, if you could drop a link to Atomic Snack Bar, that'd be great. First of all, I don't know if I told you this before. I absolutely love the look. It's like a beatnik professor, or like some lounge lizard club owner. The look he perfects is absolutely amazing, and he does retrospects mostly on old classic schlocky sci-fi film, but other stuff as well. He does compilations of like old trailers or adverts and stuff, which he puts together, and you'd swear to God that it was a montage. He makes his own montages, but they're very professionally done, and it reminds me of some of the stuff you used to see. Do you remember Night Flight? You guys must remember Night Flight from back in the 80s. It reminds me of a lot of stuff you would have seen on Night Flight. And he does some great compilations of favorite post-apocalyptic films, favorite robots in sci-fi, favorite plant-themed monsters. There's many others, but he'll do like a compilation of those, and some go way back, and some are a little more modern. But you got to check out Atomic Snack Bar. Pretty please, sugar on top. A lot of people saying hi to Atomic. Len says 15 likes and 13 here. We are a way to go, folks. Up to 16 likes. Yeah, go us. And and here's something else we do, Atomic. I have something called working titles. It's a little game where what you do is you take the title of a song and you rearrange the words, and people have to figure out what the song is. So if I said, for what reason is the nearest star still incandescent? We would say, why does the sun go on shining? Today, friend of channel, Terrell Eugene Bellinger, or Teb, as we call him, is doing TV title rephrase trivia. And he's done about 4 or 5 so far, but his newest one is People Who Don't Know Each Other That Are Complete Without Fault or Defect. And of course, my guess would be Perfect Strangers. Now we'll see if I was right or not. Oh, and Sean and this guessed the same thing. So either I'm right or we're both wrong. Atomic Snack Bar says, "You are too kind, good sir. Night Flight is a big inspiration. I loved Night Flight when I was a teenager. In fact, one of the things that made me want to get into entertainment, which I still haven't done, but I'm working on it, were the old night flights. Saw some amazing old film in there too. That's how I found out about Things to Come, Not a Living Dead, and some more very, very influential sci-fi to me, and classic film as well, not just sci-fi." Emily says, "Lance, I let one of my other personalities hit the like button. They insisted." And Tracy said, "I like Night Flight." Tracy, I almost guaranteed you would have liked Night Flight. And Teb says we are correct. Oh, Brogan liked Night Flight also. I think we all like Night Flight. In the days when you didn't have the internet to go on and just talk with people about nostalgia all night, they were at least a window into the world of nostalgia. And yes, definitely check out Atomic Snack Bar. Oh, and Tracy says Night Flight played music videos too. They did. They did something which I thought was great. They would, much like playlists, they played music videos on a certain theme. And it's funny. It was amazing actually how many themes you could actually find. They did one on uh post-apocalyptic themed as well, and had "You Got Lucky" by Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, "Bop to You Drop" by um, Rick Springfield, I want to say, "Mr. Roboto" by Styx. There was a surprisingly lot of post-apocalyptic videos. But of course, it was the 80s, Reagan era. Everybody thought the apocalypse was right around the corner. And Sean says, "Teb, that one was either easy or just synced to my broken brain." And Teb says, yes, he was great. Lisa Field says, "Gotcha." I was just thinking about the film Gotcha. I don't know if you're saying gotcha in the sense of, haha, gotcha, or if you actually were talking about the film with Anthony Edwards, because I was actually just thinking about that film the other day, because the whole premise of that film was about this actual game they used to play on college campuses where they would go around with old style rubber dart guns. Some colleges use squirt guns instead. But you would get a target, you would go around trying to shoot your friend, and they would run around and hide from each other, and it was very disruptive. And there's no, even with toy guns, there's no way you would let anyone run around campuses with any type of firearm to this day. And it's a pity because it was actually kind of a funny film. Lynn says, "I watched King times Godzilla. It was real fun, and it had Hart recommended it. Gang, I may have to actually go down into the theaters to watch that one. I never get to the cinema anymore. I just don't, but I'm going to try to. I have old films don't have time to watch." And Lisa says, "Lance, thanks for that. I want to see it." And Gary Cameron says the original Spider-Man cartoon came out the same year I was born. 66? 66 or 68. I remember that one. Stan Lee was actually associated with that. He's listed as Smiling Stan Lee in the credits. And I don't know if I've ever told you guys this, but I'm going to tell you again. I used to work in a video store. You'd find that hard to believe. I worked in a video store years ago. It was called Suncoast Video. We didn't rent movies; we sold them. It was the same outfit as Sam Goody. Only they sold music. We sold movies. And one of the ladies, she retired on Cape Cod. One of the ladies who used to come in periodically was the widow of the man who wrote that song. And apparently she felt that he didn't give enough recognition or money for that matter for his contribution. I believe he was a studio musician at the time. But yes, I knew the widow of the lady who wrote the theme song to that. Lynn says, "You got lucky, Tom Petty." And Emily Miller says, "Now everybody thinks that April 8th eclipse is some kind of sign from the biblical or something or another." How many times have we been led down that path? How many times it is, like, oh, this is it, this is it, this is it. I think we don't need to worry. Gary says, "T, are you buffering again?" Oh God, I hope not. Uh, Lisa Field says, "Wild Boys, Duran Duran, Wild Boys." I don't remember that one being post-apocalyptic. I remember Blue Moon on Monday has sort of a World War III vibe to it with modern day Nazi stormtroopers with lightsabers riding on horseback, which I guess would make them more cavalry than stormtroopers. But I remember that one seemed to have a post-war feel to it. I'll have to check out Wild Boys. You might be onto something there. Emily says, "At least the apocalypse was exciting. I could do without it." Oh, Lynn says, "Aldo Nova Fantasy. Love that song." Gary Carter says 1967. I was born in 67 too. Way back when in 67. Oh, Tracy used to buy movies from Suncoast. Awesome. Outland says Y2K. I know, right? I know. And Tracy says, LOL, the eclipse is just an eclipse. A total eclipse of the heart in this case. And Tim says, TV title, rephrase trivia, an unexplained performing art space with a system of knowledge covering universal and natural truths that is 3 times 1,000. Mystery, science, theater, 3,000. Just a lucky guess. Darrell is here. Oh, Darrell Johnson is here. Other brother. He says, Bob. I say, other brother. So good to see you. A lot of people saying hey to Daryl. And as they should. Gary Cameron says someone has won the Florida lottery. Someone won the big lottery here too. It went from like a billion to like 36 million. A measly 36 million. You know, I could use a measly 36 million. I don't know about you guys. And let's see what else we got going on here. Where went about a dozen? I think a lot of people sort of like come in, said hello, and sort of meandered. That's good. We're actually we're coming up on the hour mark. So tell you what, if anyone else has any other inputs or outputs or suggestions, now's a good time as any. Like I said, I really don't think this guy had to have something commemorative. Oh, speaking of numerology, for all you like 2012 Y2K buffs, today is 4224. See what I did there? Yeah, it's April 2nd, 24. So it's 424. Another day I have to, and I don't even know what I'm going to do. It might be something on Chicago. You'll see why in a second. But I've decided I have to do something on the 25th of June. And do you want to know why I have to do something on the 25th of June this year? Because the 25th of June is 2506 to 4. I'll go over that again. It's the 25th, 2506 to 4, as in the Chicago song 25 or 6 to 4. Which has anyone in this chat not had me explain that to them? If I haven't, be honest and I will. Oh, yeah, Lynn says Chicago. Tracy says, don't go changing. And Emily says, what about shot puts? I threw the shot put when I was in high school, but that was a long time ago. But anyhow, yeah, so I'm gonna do something on 25 or 6 to 4. And Sean says, I got married on 2202. Not my idea. So it was on a 2 of hearts, then was it? Emily says input, output, shot put. Entry says, because the 25th is 3 days before my birthday. Okay, let's go with that. Actually, what it was is they were having a late night recording session, and there's implication that certain stimulants being used to keep them awake were enhanced, and they were all having an attack of the sillies. And what had happened was it was after 3:30. That's how late it was. It was after 3:30, and I guess Robert Lamb was like, "Ah, what time is it?" And one of them looked over and said, "Oh, it's." What he wanted to say was it's 3:35, but he was so loopy. All I can say is 25 or 6 to 4. And they were like, "What the are you talking about?" And they were like laughing inconsolably. It's not that funny, but when you're really, really overtired, anything can be funny. And Luna says, I married my first husband on April 1st. No fooling. And Sean says, I was a pole vault. I'm guessing not Ed. Thrash, go field events. I was never a pole vaulter. Oh, yeah, he does correct it, pole vaulter. Way, 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 way too heavy to be a pole vaulter. And Emily says, then 10 years ago, my granddaughter was born on April 1st. Crazy. And Gary Carpenter says, oh, you did what happened. And Lance says, Chance and Sarah are on tonight talking about Star Trek 8:30. At 9:30 my time. So sadly I won't be there, but please tell everyone in the chat that I said hi. Oh, music, movies, and more with Brian is here. Says, hey there, Thrash. Happy 4th anniversary to you. Thank you so much. We're just about to wrap things up, but thank you very much. Oh, for any of you who haven't had a chance to check out music, movies, and more with Brian, please do. Somebody, Lance or Tracy, drop him a link. He put out a video. It's actually really, really polished. I guess he found a patron to help him out with some of his effects, and they came out very, very nicely. And Emily says, Gary, it didn't work out. Now I'm on marriage number 3. Hey, 3's the charm. And Emily says, Brian Bob was talking about you earlier. Yes, I was. And will again. And Gary says, M, 3-time could be the charm, but bump. Oh, speaking of Kevin, who I was also talking about earlier, Kevin Scott 76 years says, hey, Thrash, dodge bullet with the tornadoes. You had tornadoes in your area? I'm glad you dodged them. Very, very happy that you are still with us, and thank you for stopping by. Let's just see. Oh, and Lisa Fields is again saying happy anniversary. That's very kind of you. And Tree says, see you guys on my live stream Saturday night. If I'm home, I'll be there. My guess is I'll still be at work. But Tracy, I will always be with you in spirit, Bubala. But anyway, good luck with your upcoming live event Saturday, and I will be there if I humanly possibly can. Gary says Liz Taylor married 8 times. Zaza Gabor married 9 times. I believe if you count the fact that she married Richard Burton twice, I believe actually she had 9 marriages as well. Oh, Jenny Lou says, proud of you, bro. Congratulations on your 4th anniversary. Jenny, I want to thank you very, very, very much. Oh, one more thing while I'm thinking of it. How's all the shenanigans with your HOA going? I absolutely love that story. Apparently, she and brother Jeff, the HOA in her neighborhood were giving her a hard time about something stupid, so she got the rule book. This is so something her father would have done, by the way. This is so something Dada Pops would do. They got the rule book, and they're just going around finding all the other infractions other people are doing, and I'm like, I doth my cap to you, little sister. That is awesome. Let me know how it goes. Oh, no more issues. Wow. That worked better than I thought it could. But where's the fun in that? By the way, keep me posted. And love you, and I love Jeff. I love you guys very, very much. Someday I will get back to the Carolinas. Someday. Oh, by the way, yeah, Emily, they live in Wilmington. They live out on the coast. Our dad lives in Raleigh, but Jenny, Emily lives in Hickory. I don't know what that is in relation to anything, but a lot of my folks here are from the Carolinas. Danny, who couldn't make it tonight, he's from South Carolina. Just making conversation. And let's see, Sean says, for myself, I can't imagine taking the plunge even a second time. I don't blame you. I always tell Mrs. Thrash she ruined me for all other women. And I don't mean that in a good way either. I mean, I am done. Oh, Kevin says, happy anniversary, just realized. Thank you. Thank you so much, Kevin. So it's so great to have you with us tonight. Lynn says, happy anniversary. Baby, you got got you on my mind. Little River Band. Good song. Jenny Lou says Jeff is dragging me to see Justin Timberlake. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. This from the girl who actually wanted me to get her the autographs of New Kids on the Block. Long story, long story. A kid I was friends with at the time in college had actually grown up in the neighborhood where the New Kids had originally been from. And I told this to Jenny Lou, and she thought I got him on speed dial. I was unable to arrange any autographs. Again, Jenny Lou, still sorry, but they were a flash in the pan anyway. But sorry I couldn't make good on your request. Brian says, I'm glad I got to see you tonight. Have a wonderful night, my friend. You as well. You as well. Jenny says, Wilmington, North Carolina, and love you too. Thank you so much. Emily Miller says, Hickory is close to the mountains. Yeah, I know. Raleigh's a huge, huge state. But it's still a small world. And Sean says, Emily, hope your third is the charm. Gary says, love you, T. Oh, the feeling is more than mutual. Emily says, Sean, I'm not holding my breath. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, okay. Nice to know you're hedging your bets. Tracy says, this is my second and last. I've always found one's the charm. Gary Cameron says, I lived in Iron Station. It's closer to Charlotte, North Carolina. Sean says, oh, Jenny Lou and Jeff are in North Carolina. One of my sisters is NC2. Jenny says, I remember this. Yeah, I know. Let's see. Well, if I was in college, if I was 2021, you'd have been 8 or 9. So yeah, you were well old enough to have memories. Although I'm so psyched. Easter, I was thinking about this, guys. One year, Dad took us all to the islands down in the Bahamas, and Jenny, I think you were like 2. I don't. You may have been 3, but I think you were like 2, and you're like little bits. And I was asking her how much of it and she remembers it. She remembers it. That's awesome. That's actually one of my fondest memories. And Kevin says, anyone else watching American Idol? It's my guilty pleasure. I haven't watched it in ages, but I do like the show. Uh, Siobhan Magnus was actually she's a Cape Cod girl, amazingly talented singer. She was on American Idol. And Emily says, Gary, isn't that just south of Mount Holly? And Mr. Wilkins says, have you ever been to the Outer Banks, North Carolina, Bob? Like Cape Hatteras? Haven't been out that way. Always wanted to, but never actually made it. Gary Gabby says, M, you betcha it is, sweetie. Lisa Field says, Sean, I am an hour from Charlotte. Oh, wow. You're from North Carolina, too? I completely forgot that, Lisa. Thank you for letting us know that. And Emily says, Kenneth, my first trip to the NC coast was just 2 years ago, Emerald Island. And Lynn says, it's Jenny from the block. And Jenny Lou says, absolutely. Oh my God, Keith is here. He says, okay, I made it. I gave you a shout out earlier, Keith, but now I can actually say it to you in person. So glad you could make it just in time for me to say goodnight. But you did make it. Sorry your plans got washed out. I'm very glad you were able to come by and say hello. And Sean says, nice, Lisa. My sister is in Haynesville in the western part of the state. Oh, small world, small world. And Gary Grimmer says, I've never been to the East Coast. Sean says, I stayed on the beach on Carolina one summer. Love people saying hi to Keith. Keith says, hi, Emily. Good to see you. We're getting ready for tornadoes here. Oh, dude, Tennessee. Hopefully you won't get them. Kevin's here. Says evening Thrash Pondo and his amazing subscribers. Kevin, so glad you could make it. We are definitely going to be getting together for that Shogun retrospect. And thank you. We're just wrapping things up now, but I'm so glad you could make it. So thank you for coming by on my 4th anniversary. Lizzie Field says, no, I'm from New York, but I've lived in South Carolina for 24 years. Oh, okay. That explains why I didn't know that because it wasn't true. Lynn says, I've been to Hawaii. It was so fun. We have a cousin in Hawaii, our cousin Keone, who I'm sure you guys have heard me mention. He's actually been on here a few times, not for a while, but Keone has been on here now that I think of it. Tracy says 8675309. Jenny, who can very good. Keely says, and have a new accomplishment. I got banned from the channel. You got banned from my channel? Oh wow. I didn't ban you. I don't know who banned you, but I'm glad you're back here, Keith. But very sorry you were banned, or it was a different channel you were banned by. Oh, the Weather Channel. Okay, that makes more sense. Keith, some folks have all the fun. Kevin says happy 84th anniversary. Gary says, I live close to Denver, Lincolnton and Stanley. And Tracy says, my Emily says, my dad lives in Madison. And John says, Hayesville. I just checked it. It's almost due north of Atlanta. And Gary says, oh, good. I'm not sure what is good, but I'm sure whatever it is good is good. But anyway, guys, I want to thank you all for showing up tonight. I want to thank you all for wishing me a happy 4th anniversary. Hopefully, we'll have many, many, many more. I'm going to wrap it up because, as you guys can tell, my allergies are starting to kill me. I don't know what it is. It was fine until I decided to go live tonight. But anyway, again, that's all I got for you tonight. I will have a show this Sunday, come heck or higher water. I want to thank all of you guys just for being you. I wouldn't do these without you guys, literally. It would just be me like looking at a screen, chatting with myself, and that's pathetic. You guys make these things all worthwhile. So again, I want to say thank you all for joining us. Be good, be safe, be careful. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all again very, 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 very soon. Peace.